So I've got something to talk to you guys about today. It's kind of big and probably needs some background and context. And so this is gonna be sort of a different kind of Goldshaw Farm video today. Let me try to explain a few things as I get my morning chores going here. How's my puppy dog? Good to see you, buddy. You have a good night? How you doing, my buddy? How are you doing? Did you have a good night? Yeah, good to see you, pal. How's your day going? So I'm out here a little earlier than usual today doing my chores because I actually have to go into the office. And by the office, I mean I have a day job. I think some of you guys know that. I'm not a full-time farmer. I work, I don't know, about 50-ish, 55 hours a week, every week, doing a day job. I've worked the same job now for about 3.5 years, almost 4 years actually. It's nothing glamorous. It's in the insurance industry, but it pays the bills. Release the Kraken! The ducks are very confused this morning. They're like, why the duck are we up so early? So to get to my office, like the office that I work in, it's about an hour drive from the farm. I used to have to make that drive every single day, but ever since the pandemic, I've been kind of lucky in that regard because I've been working from home, working right here from the farm. And so by working from home, it has saved me about 2 hours a day, every day for nearly the last 2 years or so. Ooh, slippery. But the fact of the matter is, I really have needed this day job. It's been an important part about how Allison and I have made ends meet here on the farm. You know, my wife Allison, she works a job. She works as a nurse practitioner at one of the local hospitals in the emergency room. And I've worked my insurance job. And yeah, we make a little bit of money from the farm. If you paid attention to the video I made a couple weeks ago about how much money we've made on the farm, you'll know that it was only about $7,500 that we made in profit for 2021. And $7,500 is nice, but as you guys well know, you can't support a household on $7,500. And we still need to save for things like our retirement and planning for the future. And so when Allison and I made the decision to move up here full-time about 4.5 years ago, it was important that I had a day job. That was the only way we were gonna make everything sort of financially all fit together. And so that has made me a full-time farmer with a day job who also actually spends a fair amount of time doing things like social media content. Because I'm sure many of you guys have noticed that we have built up over the last couple of years quite the following. You know, we've got almost about 440,000 subscribers as I'm recording this today. And I mean, that's just on YouTube. If I look at Facebook, we're up over 1 million followers. If I look at TikTok, we're up over 1.5 million followers. On an average good month, our little farm videos will generate north of about 20 million views across all of the platforms that we're on. And I have to admit that that experience in and of itself has really humbled me and is kind of amazing. Like, I would have never dreamed that millions of people across the world would want to pay attention to a little podunk duck and goose and chicken and cattle and barn cat farm and guard dog. I can't forget the guard dog. All the way up here in northern Vermont in the middle of nowhere in a town of about 700 people, all to just watch some guys struggle to learn how to be a farmer. But well, my friends, here we are, and I'm so thankful that all of you guys have been following along. But doing all the social media content has had its costs, you know, because I'm not just working 2 jobs between my day job and the farm job. I'm generally speaking working 3 jobs. You know, if I'm doing like an honest accounting of my time, on average, it's about 50 hours a week that I'm working my day job. It's about 30 hours a week that I'm doing farm work around here. And then it's probably another 20 hours a week that I'm doing social media content work, whether it's editing videos or shooting videos or responding to comments or coming up with ideas. It really is a drain on my time and energy. It really does have me wondering just how sustainable it all actually is. Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing in the hoop coop? Oh, looks like you need fresh water. I gotta admit that this hoop coop is working out really well. I've got both the geese and the chickens in here. My calendar tells me that I should actually let everybody go back to free ranging today and just locking them up here at night. But since I'm not gonna be home until late because I gotta go work, I'm gonna have to just leave them in here an extra day. Because it's a new home, I don't wanna have to deal with the prospect of looking for missing chickens over the course of the evening when I get back home and it's pitch dark. But they got plenty of space and they got plenty of fresh bedding, so it should be okay. Looks like we got a little ceramic egg. You know, I've got to say, it's actually very nice inside of here. It's, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 degrees warmer inside here than it is outside. It also doesn't stink. I keep putting down either fresh wood chips or straw, and so it's got like a really kind of nice earthy smell. I don't know, I think it's working out really well. And for those of you guys wondering about Buck the rooster, our rooster who we just recently moved into the hoop coop here, Buck is doing pretty darn good. You can see him right here. He's definitely gotten used to the ladies. He is part of the flock now, I think. He's still trying to figure out what to do about the geese, and he's not sure how to interact with them. But his interactions with the chickens are very good. And I even think he's gonna start getting frisky with the girls pretty soon, which is also a good thing. Now, I could talk to you guys all day about keeping the birds and what I'm learning, and I absolutely love doing that, which is really kind of how I started doing all the social media stuff and why I continue to do it, because it's something that I'm so passionate about. But I gotta focus here and talk to you about this thing I gotta talk to you about in this video and break this news to you. But look at the ducks and chickens, they're having such a good time. So we've got our silky flock out here, and the ducks are out here. All the other chickens and the geese are in there. Come on, Toby dog, I'm running out of time before I gotta go get on the road. I need to feed you your breakfast. Yeah, I'm running behind right now. And I also always feel like I'm running behind. Pablo, get out of there. Toby, come. Come on, don't let the barn cats eat your food, buddy. Come on. Don't worry, little Ginny, I'm gonna feed you in a minute. Hey, how's it going there, Ariel? How are you doing this morning, girl? You want a treat? No? Okay. I'll let you stay under the barn. You can do what you want. Oh, I know my gal Annabelle wants a treat. How's it going, sweetie? You want some? There you go. And I will admit, I've been thinking about this topic more and more, the more and more our farm grows. You know, especially as we've started to add the cattle into the mix here at Goldshaw Farm. It's just yet another operation and yet another thing that takes my time and attention, and I need to manage. Uh-oh, watch out, Annabelle. Kurt's gonna push you out of the way. He wants a treat too. Here you go, buddy. That's it, that's all I got for you. Nope, you just get one treat today. Don't crowd me, bro. And I know I've talked to you a little bit about this idea that I have of starting this new dried meat company. And as I think about doing all of those things, they're gonna just take more time. And I'm already a guy who doesn't have enough time. And so I'm realizing that if I truly wanna pursue my dream of starting a successful farm, something's gonna have to give, and I need to make some trade-offs. Hey, Ariel, good to see you. Oh, that's a good girl. You know, I've always said that when I started this farm, I wanted this farm to be a sustainable farm. And I've always defined sustainability as something that is good and sustainable for the environment, something that is good and sustainable economically, and something that is good and sustainable emotionally for the farmer. Something that I wasn't gonna be burning myself out with or killing myself with chasing something while I actually did the work. And I think that that's a fine and grand sentiment to write down on a piece of paper when you're making goals for the future. But when you start to get down to it and the rubber really starts to meet the road, it's often sometimes very hard to make that a possibility, because you're presented with these series of choices and you have to wonder to yourself, like, do you go left and do you go right? And you have maybe a general long-term view of the direction you want to head in, but you don't necessarily have an exact like snapshot. And one of the things that I've found is the further you go, while you might be thinking you're heading in a direction, the place you end up is rarely ever exactly where you thought you were going to get to. And for me and my wife Allison, and the journey we've been on with this farm for the last, 6, 5, 4 years, however you want to define the time window, it's been exactly that. And here today I find myself yet again commuting into an office job that has me wondering, is what I'm doing actually sustainable, or am I actually just burning myself out? These are the things I think about as I'm driving on these commutes. Commutes are often filled with lots of reflection and self-doubt in audiobooks and podcasts. And also griping to myself about the fact that I nicked myself shaving this morning. Do you guys see that, right? Look right there. I hate shaving. But yes, I'm going into the office, so I felt the need to shave this morning. But I will say, as I think about when I started this farm and the plan I had, the idea was to do social media, as a way to promote and sell our farm products. And here I am several years later, and we built up this audience, and we built so many connections and relationships with so many of you, that I really have to admit that I feel very lucky and very blessed when I think about where we've ended up, even though it's absolutely not where I ever dreamed or envisioned that we would end up. And as Allison and I were starting to do some of our farm planning late in 2021 and thinking about 2022 and all the ambitious things we're thinking about doing and what we want to try to achieve here on the farm, one of the things that we both absolutely acknowledged is that I can't keep doing what I'm doing. I can't keep working a day job, running a farm, and doing the amount of social media content that I've been doing, or else I am just going to burn myself out. I feel like at this point, if you look at my calendar and you look at my schedule, I have very little time for leisure time. I have very little time for family and friends. I barely have enough time for Allison. And in my mind, those are some of the things that make life worth living, and having the time to do those things. And so we decided for 2022, I was gonna need to make a change. And that's where it gets down to what I need to talk to you about today. I am going to be leaving my day job. I'm going to be giving up the office life. I'm going to be giving up a career that I've been working, about 20 plus years in, and I'm going to strike out on my own. And I'm just going to focus on the farm and just going to focus on making videos for you guys. And I really got to admit to you that I'm kind of excited about that one. Like, I'm really excited, like super, super excited, even though it is a very, very scary thing to me. Since the age of 16, I've actually never not had a job. I got a job as a cashier at a grocery store and did that for a little while before I got demoted to being just a bagger because I was terrible at being a cashier. And then I actually met up with a couple of guys who noticed that I had some skills with computers and could do graphic design stuff. And so I started working at like a video production company. Then throughout all of college, I worked a whole variety of jobs, whether it be in the video production world, or working as a projectionist, or working at the school's video library, or even occasionally doing a couple shifts at a bar. When I got out of college, I started working at a marketing agency doing video and animation stuff, and then eventually got my first job when I was 25 at an insurance company where I was doing a lot of their marketing and communications and working as a speechwriter for the CEO for a while. And then I moved to another company to do more marketing, and then just bounced around from company to company for the last, 12 years or so, doing what I've been doing. And in that time period, I never not had a job. I always quit one job to go work another job. I might have had a week at the most in between jobs, just to allow me to move from one city to the next. But overall, I was always employed. And so the idea of not having a boss, not having a day-to-day job, that's kind of crazy and scary to me. And to be quite honest, I think that fear of being out on my own, and that fear of not having a job to rely on and a paycheck and benefits to rely on, has probably been what's kept me doing this working 3 jobs at once thing for so gosh darn long. But if I'm doing a really honest and fair appraisal of where I'm at and how I'm doing right now, I don't need to do it. When it comes down to it, our living expenses for Allison and me aren't much. We have no plans to have children. We've already done pretty good when it comes to saving for retirement. I think I've done a pretty good job investing and saving just in general. We live debt free, and so our living expenses and kind of call it the annual nut is not that bad at all. And because of all of you guys, because of the folks who tune in and watch our videos and comment on our videos and share our videos with their friends and family, that's made a massive difference for us. And it's gotten to the point where I could probably just focus in on the social media side of things. If somebody was to ask me if I were to win the lottery, what would I end up doing? The honest to goodness answer would be, I would just work on the farm full time and probably still make videos for you guys, because I like making videos and I like telling stories and I like sharing information. And so if I was a ridiculous lottery winner, I would probably not work a day job, is the reality of it all. But I still absolutely would occupy my time with the farm, and I'd probably make a few videos and tell some stories in between as well. Because quite honestly, those are the things that fulfill me. Those are the things that from a vocational perspective make me feel like I'm accomplishing something and I'm doing something. And yeah, maybe if I won the lottery, I'd have more interesting equipment and probably help with the farm and a range of animals on the farm. But honestly, I'm not even sure if I would do any of those things. I think I would actually continue to go at the exact same pace I've been going at with growing our farm. And if I really reflect on it, the success that we've had with social media, to me, quite honestly, feels like it is winning the lottery. I would have never imagined that this would be the scenario 5 or 6 years ago that I'd be in. But I'm now in that scenario, and so I'm gonna be taking this opportunity. Now, I know for some of you, you're probably wondering, well, what does this all mean for me? What's gonna be different? And to be quite honest, for those of you guys who watch our videos and follow along with our farm, not much is gonna change from your perspective. I might have a little bit more time to make more videos and more content. I might start focusing in on some of my additional projects, like revamping my podcast and finishing that book I keep talking about. But overall, it's gonna pretty much look exactly the same. Honestly, the bigger difference is gonna be for me personally, and that I honestly believe that not having this day job is gonna create more time for me to just sort of be me and relax and not be so constantly working. Of course, I do know I'm the type of person who will probably fill up all of my free time with new projects, but that'll be a personal choice, not something I feel like I'm forced into doing. So I have a couple more days left to work, and so I'll be finishing things up. But I really couldn't end this video without offering the most sincere sense of thank you and gratitude to all of you. You know, if it wasn't for the folks who were watching our videos, if it wasn't for the support of all of you, none of this would have been possible. And so I appreciate it. It means the world to me that you guys follow along and that you share our farm with others. And I just wanted to say thank you. This is life-changing. This is like winning the literal lottery in just a weird sort of different kind of way. And so I did want to just say thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate all of you. I appreciate all of your support. And I'm excited to show you guys what we do next. Now, if you'll excuse me, I gotta actually go work my last physical day in the office. You know, the funny part about working from home is on your last day in the office, you have to bring cardboard boxes of work back into the office instead of bringing your belongings home to the office, but here I'm at. I'll see you guys back at the farm.